Hello, and welcome to this module on engaging with communities, when and why. Sometimes technical consultants feel that interacting with a community is challenging, not worth the effort, time-consuming, or even intimidating. However, community engagement is essential to achieving sustainable sanitation. In this module, we will initially clear up some misconceptions about community engagement, outline what it is, and when to do it, and look at a range of engagement types. It's common to find terms such as stakeholder and community engagement or participation used interchangeably. The community is one of many stakeholders. A community is usually thought of as all the people living in one specific area. For a sanitation project, the community could be residents in a city or town, a formal neighborhood, or an informal settlement. Typically, a community is more interested in a project that directly impacts its neighborhood than in policy change at the municipal level. Urban areas, particularly larger towns and cities, are diverse. Often within one town or city, there are communities with completely different characteristics. Some communities may be well established, while others include migrants from rural areas, transient or seasonal workers, households with different income and housing types, and owners and renters. So aim to understand the community first. This can be done through secondary data sources such as census or other reports, or by mapping the community and identifying community leaders and community structures that the project could work with. Often, multiple subcommunities need to be engaged within a single geographical community. Community engagement refers to the way a project implementer and a community relate to each other, communicate, and implement a response. Community engagement exists on a continuum, ranging from one-way engagement where the community is informed about a project, consultation, where there is two-way sharing of information and feedback from the community is obtained. More active involvement and collaboration, for example, through partnerships. And strong bi-directional relationships in shared leadership, where the community decides on and controls its own activities. As the level of community involvement increases, the relationship between the two entities, the project implementer and the community, also changes. In this diagram, we can see that the relationship moves from entities that coexist separately through a cooperative relationship, and at the far end of the scale, a shared partnership, which may even be formalized through an agreement. Engaging with the community can improve project outcomes in many ways. It can stimulate demand for sanitation by providing information and options to communities. Their knowledge and awareness will increase, creating a real demand for sanitation. It can be a way of balancing user aspirations with the feasibility and costs of providing services. It can address inequality in sanitation. Through consultation with different user groups within the community, a better understanding can be obtained of who is missing out on sanitation and why. These gaps can be addressed in the project design to ensure everyone has access to sanitation services. It can also create ownership of sanitation and ensure sustainability. The more engaged and empowered a community is with its sanitation choices, the more it will feel ownership and responsibility. Different types of community engagement may be more appropriate than others, depending on the various phases in a sanitation project. During the pre-concept and advocacy phase, communities may be informed about a project or the sanitation challenge and the need for improvements. This could be done through newspaper articles, leaflets, local radio, or presentations to the community. During the scoping and data collection phase, baseline information on the community and sanitation problems, behaviors, and service issues can be collected. Consultation and information sharing is usually done through household surveys, focus group discussions, community meetings, interviews with key informants, and observation. During the concept development phase, the community can be involved by providing inputs into the design of services, choice of technology, for example, public latrines or condominium sewerage, and feedback on willingness and ability to pay. Methods for community engagement might include community meetings and presentations by engineers and technical officers, question and answer sessions, and voting or ranking of options. The design phase is an opportunity to collaborate with the community to finalize designs. This is also a time when the community itself can start to prepare for implementation and mobilize community members to be involved in the project. This can be done through dialogue with the community, at public meetings, presentations, and signboards with information on designs and key dates. During implementation, the level of community engagement can range from being informed about the timing of the construction to providing labor, cash or land, informal supervision, receiving training, and also celebrating key milestones such as groundbreaking or completion. During monitoring, community engagement could be as simple as reporting problems to the utility, or, more actively, in management, cleaning, maintenance, and reporting regularly on service effectiveness, for example, through community scorecards or annual surveys. Co-production of urban basic services and infrastructure is the strongest form of community engagement and involves joint arrangements between local government and well-organized communities. This is done through a regular long-term relationship between state agencies or local governments and organized groups of citizens, where both make substantial resource contribution. In this module, you have learned to distinguish between community engagement and stakeholder engagement, and that community engagement is essential for sustainable and inclusive sanitation. It is part of the wider stakeholder engagement process. The level and type of community engagement should vary according to project phases and the sanitation chain. The community does not need, nor is it able, to be engaged all the time in the same way. Community engagement sits within a broader enabling environment and planning process. For example, it must link with service providers, regulatory bodies, and local government. Community engagement can help strengthen these links through the demand for services, monitoring, and accountability.